Equality. India believes in democracy. The key values of a democratic governance include participation of people, resolution of their disputes and conflicts, equality and justice. Equality is the central feature of democracy as it influences all aspects of its functioning and helps in the smooth functioning of a democratic government. Equal right to vote. Look at the given picture. What do you observe? What conclusion do you draw from it? In a democratic country like India, all the citizens who are above the age of 18 years have been given the right to vote, irrespective of their race, caste, creed, or education. This right is called universal adult franchise and is an essential aspect of all democracies. The notion one man, one vote is the basis of right to vote in India. Not only this, each citizen shares an equal status as each of them has a voting right. Other kinds of inequalities. There are many people in India who enjoy the right to vote, but their working and living conditions indicate gross inequality prevailing in the society. Do you know that caste system is one of the common forms of inequality in India? In urban India, the caste system has weakened. However, if you live in rural India, you will experience that an individual's identity is based only on the caste he is born in. The caste system in India continues to be in the minds of educated urban population too, especially in the matters concerning marriage. There are other forms of inequalities too, in which the lower castes, Dalits, are discriminated against. People are also treated unequally and unfairly on the basis of the religion they practice, class, background they come from, and gender as well, whether they are males or females. Recognizing the dignity of an individual. When individuals are not treated equally, their dignity is violated. Nobody deserves to be treated unequally. Everyone deserves the same respect and dignity. Let's study about discrimination and its evil impact on the people as an individual and society as a whole. Caste discrimination. Caste discrimination is not only unfair but also unjust. The very thought of casteism and discrimination contradicts the inherent principle of equality and justice mentioned in the preamble to the Constitution. The Constitution of India provides for equality of all the Indians irrespective of their caste, creed, religion, belief, gender, region, language, etc. In a multilingual, multi-religious and multicultural society like India, there should not be any place for inequality and discrimination. Such practices have the potential to cause immeasurable damage to the unity and integrity of the nation. It devoids the country of the productive and essential manpower of the discriminated against section of society that is required for the economic growth. The discriminated against section feels low and fails to give its best at the workplace. We need to encourage the socially and economically weaker sections for their betterment and for the country as well. Apart from ensuring proper education to all the people, we also need to create awareness among the general masses against the peril of such evil and unfair practice of discriminations in our day to day life. While in our own social interaction, we must maintain the dignity of an individual as each one of us are unique and equally important for the healthy development of our society. Examples of caste discrimination. During primary education, I was very good in my studies. The headmaster, who belonged to the upper caste, used to purposely ignore and discourage me by referring to my caste openly in the class. In the school, he used to practice untouchability. We scheduled caste students were not allowed to use the same place where others used to drink water. During my schooling, I did not like to disclose my caste as I found that the people's attitude suddenly changed and this led to tension in our lives. Even today, in day to day life, we do not openly disclose our caste and feel very much burdened about it. Discrimination at the social and other levels is harmful in totality. It causes serious problems for the discriminated against class and may have multiple effects of adverse nature. Some of the effects of discrimination are as follows. The discrimination may lead to number 1, deprivation. Number 2, humiliation. Number 3, escapism. Number 4, lack of confidence. Number 5, crisis and conflict. Number 6, mental block. Number 7, inferiority complex. Number 8, low self-esteem. Number 9, poor performance. Number 10, anger and dissatisfaction. Many forms of untouchability. In 1999, P. Sainath, an Indian journalist, wrote a series of news reports describing untouchability and caste discrimination still being practiced in many places in India. Number 1, at tea stalls, cups were kept separately for Dalits and others. Number 2, barbers refused to serve Dalit clients. Number 3, Dalit students were made to sit separately in the classroom. Number 4, Dalit grooms were not allowed to ride a horse in the wedding procession. All these are examples of various types of discriminations that prevail in our society. P. Sainath succeeded in drawing attention of the common masses to the social problem and its impact on the already weaker sections of the society. The government is also making concerted efforts to protect the interests of the tribal people, to bring them at par with other sections of Indian society. Apart from the safeguards provided through legislation in the constitutional provisions, the Government of India has taken several steps. Some of those provisions made for the betterment of socially and economically backward people are as follows. Number one, reservation in government jobs. 15% for the scheduled castes, 7.5% for the scheduled tribes, and 27% for the other backward classes, OBCs. Number two, reservation of seats in the Lok Sabha and other representative bodies. Number three, reservation of seats in educational institutions. Number four, provision of grants and scholarships to the economically weaker sections of the Indian society. Number five, launching of vocational training in the tribal areas. Equality in Indian Constitution. Equality is an important element of democracy. It means all are equal before law. This is rule of law, and no discrimination is made on the basis of caste, creed, race, religion, sex, etc. The Constitution of India says that the government shall not deny to any Indian equality before the law or protection of laws. It means that the law is same for all, regardless of a person's status. This is called rule of law. It means that no person is above the law. There cannot be any distinction between a political leader, government official, and an ordinary citizen. The Indian Constitution provides for the right to equality. According to it, every Indian citizen is equal in the eye of law. Number one, the government shall not discriminate against any citizen on the ground of religion, caste, sex, or place of birth. Number two, every citizen has equal right to access public places like shops, restaurants, hotels, and cinema halls. Number three, there shall be no discrimination with regard to the use of wells, tanks, bathing ghats, roads, playgrounds, and other places of public utility maintained by government for general public. Number four, practice of untouchability by law in any form is prohibited. If anyone practices untouchability, he or she is liable to imprisonment or fine. The principle of non-discrimination extends to social life as well. The Constitution mentions the practice of untouchability and clearly directs the government to put an end to it. The practice of untouchability has been forbidden in all forms. The Constitution of India has made untouchability a punishable offense. These might appear very obvious, but it was necessary to incorporate these rights in the constitution of our country, where the traditional caste system did not allow people of some communities to access all public places. All citizens have equality of opportunity in matters relating to employment or appointment to any position in the government. Equality in other democracies. Inequality has been a part of almost every human society all over the world. In the United States, the African Americans were subjected to large scale discrimination in the southern states. They had to wage a long struggle against this inequality. Later in, they were given equal rights by the government of United States. Another case is that of South Africa, in which the black majority population was categorically denied basic rights by the white minority. The black people of Africa too had to struggle a lot in getting freedom from the white domination under the leadership of Nelson Mandela. I have fought against white domination. I have cherished the ideal of democrats and free society in which all persons live together in harmony and with equal opportunities. Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela was given life imprisonment in 1964 as he opposed the apartheid regime in South Africa. Apartheid was the name of a system of racial discrimination unique to South Africa. The apartheid system was particularly oppressive for the blacks. They were forbidden from living in those areas where the white people lived. Train, buses, hotels, hospitals, schools, colleges, libraries, beaches, pools, theaters, etc. were all separate for the whites and blacks. As protests and struggles against apartheid had increased, the government put an end to the oppression. Finally, at the midnight of 26 April 1994, the new national flag of the Republic of South Africa was unfurled. The white minority government came to an end, giving way for the formation of a multinational racial government in which there was no space for racial discrimination called apartheid. Challenges of democracy. Equality is the key feature of democracy. However, no country can be described as completely democratic. Individuals of any nation always strive to expand the ideals of democracy. They struggle for the recognition of all persons as equal. Think over it. How does the issue of equality affect various aspects of our day-to-day life? How can we help to establish equality in all aspects of life and maintain the dignity of all individuals?